Just pulled out exclamation point.
I was just doing the video. I don't think it worked. I don't think it uploaded, and don't think it's uploading either. So,
April, stop.
Well, I know, but go.
No, there's another one behind me. We're in the parking lot still.
So
We're in the acceleration line.
I am going to. One second. We're going to fast right here. Sorry. I'm gonna put something right there, cause yeah, please go.
Mama, I
Why
just
do I
feel
have
like I'm
this
gonna spill
bag?
it if it's in the can, so I want to put it in my water bottle.
Now I have something. Yeah, this will work. Alright.
My tablet is
Okay. There you go. Phone charging? We're all good. Alright, so I'm going to talk about...
Yeah, that's the Elizabeth Bathory thing.
In this
right?
video, I'm going to talk about
Is your
some...
phone
So the weather's
Yeah.
nice. The weather barbecue.
I'm going to talk about some games that probably heard about, but I'm just going to talk about them.
Remember the story
You
of
probably
Elizabeth
could
Bathory?
tell
No.
what the video's
She's-
about by looking at
It's
the
interesting.
title.
Somebody contacted me
I
on
have to
Twitter
connect to Wi.
and told me that this story might be a distortion, even though it's in
I have to
sort of in a historical
disconnect this
record.
from my
They might have actually been trying to steal her land, so they might have fabricated some of these charges. But one of the ancient stories of Elizabeth Bathory was that she was this incredibly evil woman that as she got older, she would torture and kill young peasant women and like bathe in their blood because she wanted to regain her youth.
No,
And
no,
she
the
would
Wi-Fi
kill
thing.
somebody. Yeah. I don't know if it's real though. This person who said that it was a hoax, it made me go, oh, okay, I can see that happening too.
Okay, sorry.
You know, someone wanted to steal from her, so they concocted some charges. Or it could be either or. It could be both.
Alright, I just
Fuck knows.
have to
Well, with
figure
the
out where my
stem cell
settings
thing, I
are.
feel like it should be here already if the
Yeah.
evidence is as solid as the doctor was saying.
Yes and no. The evidence is very solid that there's some regenerative properties of stem cells. The problem is we don't have enough evidence of what the potential downsides could be, and whether or not there's a very specific protocol that ensures safety. Now, Dr.
should have
Neil
done this
Reardon is on top
before
of
I
all
did
that
the
stuff,
video.
and his books.
Whoa, what just happened?
I think we put him in our. His books detail all of the various studies that have shown efficacy and all the different benefits they have. And for a lot of people, like Mel Gibson's dad, who was 92
Yeah,
when he went in there, now he's almost 100.
Sure.
And Mel Gibson's dad was fucked. I mean,
Yeah,
he
I
couldn't
was just
walk, he
connecting
was all
to the
jacked up,
Wi-Fi.
and it straightened him right out.
So, not to get all conspiratorial, but it may be,
Alright.
maybe, I have no idea, but maybe
Alright,
the
we're
reason
good now.
why it's not already here
First
is
game,
because there's some
Madden NFL.
pre-existing treatment for stuff like that they don't want to scrap. You know what I mean?
Perhaps. I mean, it's always
Alright, that one's not
possible.
working.
I
Oh,
think
wait,
more
here it
likely they're skeptical, and then the
I'm sorry that
FDA
it's all
also
gonna be
wanted to
backwards for
categorize
you.
some stem cell preparations as a drug because you have to do something to the stem cells, and then in the process of cultivating them, there's some sort of a method
Yeah, that
that
one
they
needs
do
an
that
update, so I'm
they
not gonna do
believe categorizes it as a drug.
Next one.
I'm obviously not. It's just, I'm not the right
Sausage.
person to talk to about
Yeah,
this.
me too.
Yeah, but Dr. Neil Reardon is lobbying to get it passed in Texas. Goddamn great state of Texas, hallelujah. If anybody can do it, Texas can do it. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they don't care.
They don't give
Yeah.
a fuck. It's barely America. That's
Sure.
Texas.
It's
Alright.
its own thing.
I would love it if they did that. If they did it where you could go
Phone's
to
not
Texas and
working
get
that
those treatments. Everybody that I know that's gone over there and gotten the treatments has had some radical positive response.
Well,
And I know quite a few people that have gone there.
I know countless
Remember, like
stories
and
of people. So I know
subscribe
somebody
this
who got
video,
the
share it to
LASIK eye
others
surgery,
Mm-hmm.
that
and
you know.
flew
You
to
could do
the
that
UK
right down
to get their version of it because their version of it is better, is superior, and we have
I'm gonna
the
talk
older
about some
one
other
here,
YouTube
and they're still waiting on the approval
One you
for the new
probably
way
have
of doing
heard
it.
of.
Well,
the
why would
other
they hold
you
back approval on that, though? That doesn't
might
make any
have heard
I
sense.
of.
don't know. And this is what I'm saying. I feel like in many instances, not in every
One
instance, but in many
has
instances,
over
you have the pre-existing treatments that are
14.
already in place,
Yeah.
and pharmaceutical companies make a lot of money from having those treatments already in place. So if you try to upend the apple cart, overturn the apple cart, I mean, this gets back to the whole kratom point. There's a reason why. If this is something that's basically a cure for addiction to opioids,
14
why the
million
fuck are we not pushing it like
subscribers.
crazy?
Yeah.
And the reason is they don't want to stop making money off the
The
fucking
other
opioids.
one
I think
has a
that
lot
is a
of
much more
watchers,
likely
viewers.
conspiracy because there's just an ungodly amount of money.
Probably around 14.
Yes, look at the pill mills in fucking West Virginia,
maybe less.
millions
Yeah.
of pills in a town that doesn't have that many people.
Did you ever
So,
see the documentary, The OxyContin Express?
I did not know.
You-
Actually, I may
here's
have
the
the
tip.
one where they go to Broward
If
County.
you can figure
Yeah,
it
I think I
out,
saw
why,
that.
They've
I'm
changed
gonna
the
tell
laws
you.
since then.
Everyone
because
that's in
people
it,
were
I'm
going
only
down-
gonna
I mean,
tell the first
It's
name.
one of the most ridiculous things they've ever had in this country. They had a setup where they
Second
had
one
these
I
pain management
think that you
centers.
can get
So
right
it's
away.
one box, right? One building.
then-
And in this building, there's two different doors. One door is the doctor. You go to the doctor and go, hey man, my fucking back hurts. And the doctor says, okay, I'll write you a prescription. Go next door to the pharmacy.
If you
The
got
pharmacy
the
only has
one when I was
OxyContin.
saying
It's like
people
if
in
you
it
only have a hammer.
and
Yeah.
then just
Everything
subscribe down
looks like a
below.
nail.
Well, looks like you
Yeah.
need a hammer here.
I mean,
how
not
am I gonna chop
subscribe,
this tree down? I might as
comment.
well fucking use a hammer.
Remember to give this
I mean, it's
video a
fucking
thumbs
crazy
up,
that this was going on
and
for so long, and then they also
subscribe to
this
these
is where it got
two
really
channels
weird. It wasn't
and
just
click the
pain management centers.
notification
They also didn't have
button
state
to mine
vehicles.
too.
So if you
And
went
those
to
two
Dr.
channels.
Jamie over there
So
and got a
remember what these two
prescription
channels
for
are.
OxyContin,
If you
and
need
then
to,
you
write
left
it down
Dr.
on a
Jamie's
piece of
office with a
paper.
fat bag of pills, you go
Another
to Dr.
thing,
Joe's office, and I
I'm not
give you
gonna
another
go right
prescription.
to that right
These pain
now.
management centers were all over the place in Florida.
I'm
So
going
Florida was
to
literally because I mean, there's no other way that I could imagine that this would be done
talk
conscientiously.
about,
I think this is all corruption. I think
Alright,
the
I'm
only
gonna be
reason
going
why we
live
have
tomorrow
no
morning
database.
sometime.
It's not. We're not in the
Or tomorrow
1500s, man.
afternoon,
You guys could keep records of who's fucking on this
I'm
shit
gonna
and
go
who's
live
not.
because
There's a way. I
it
mean, they
won't let
have
me.
records
I
back
can't
before
go
the
live
internet.
until 24 hours.
There's no excuse for this. This is, I think, intentional corruption.
And what's crazy is now the pendulum is swinging almost too far in the other direction.
So,
Ohio Attorney General suing opioid
Yeah.
distributors.
See, now this is a good example of what I think is the pendulum swinging too far in the other direction.
so
Because I
yeah,
have
I'm
pain
not gonna be
patients
going live until
who
tomorrow
contact me all the
morning.
time.
So I'm gonna be
and they talk
going
about
live
how
for
since there's new
a long
federal
time.
regulations over the pills,
That's what
what's
just be in the
happening is
car
many
like
doctors
right
are afraid
now.
to prescribe them at all, even when it's a legitimate pain issue. And so people contact me and they go, I don't know what to do because I need my pills because I have severe pain problem and I've had it for an extended period of time
Hope
and
that
nobody
you're
wants to give me
having a
pills
good
anymore. And they
day.
feel like they're forced to go
Spring
on the
break
black
for
market
us.
now.
Right.
We're
And now that they're
in
eliminating kratom, it's even more fucked up.
Exactly.
Chicken.
So what is the
That's what I
status
always
of
think
kratom
of,
currently?
and
Still legal.
Still legal.
Still legal, but it's a monitored substance by the FDA.
What does that mean?
If
It
you
basically
have
means
spring
if they
break
want
right
to,
now
they
and
seize
hope you're
fucking
having good
shipments of
spring
it when it comes
break,
into the U.S.
If they want to.
If they want to,
And then you
exactly.
can't get that shipment back.
No,
Then
you
you
get
go
it back.
fuck off.
Exactly.
Fuck off. We're gonna
Another
take
thing
your
I
benefits.
want to tell
But
you
it's still, thankfully,
is,
it's still, there's still leeway. The last time the FDA really tried to crack down on
have
it and
you
make a
heard of
Schedule 1
Jump Rope for
drug,
Heart?
the fucking bowels of hell opened
Okay,
up on their
so,
face because they opened up a comment section.
If you've heard of it,
comments
comment
period,
down below if you have
and
any
like
money for it.
99.9% of the comments were
And
like,
then,
fuck you, to save my life, you guys are fucking criminals, how dare you do this?
Also,
and then they had to back off because the comments were just so overwhelming. So
Just,
now they're trying to slowly do it again, and what's happening is they just referenced, oh, there are 44 cases of
forgetting
somebody
what
who
I'm saying,
overdosed from kratom.
Multi-state outbreak of salmonella.
All right,
What
so
did I
this
just
is
say?
Infections related to kratom.
exactly. So there were.
Oh yeah,
cases
Jump Rope
of,
for Heart. So comment if you
salmonella
have any
in
money.
kratom, and so the idea is another way they try to go. We gotta get
Our
rid of it.
school,
There's
our
some
goal
salmonella
was
cases.
At this time, the CDC
$10,000.
recommends
Our
people not consume kratom
school
in any
got
form because it could be contaminated with salmonella.
$13,000.
We
And
instead
then that all just
suggest
goes to
fentanyl,
Jump
which
Rope for
kills
Heart,
rhinos.
which you get.
We could kill fucking whales.
All you're doing is
with
getting
a
money
Altoid-sized
for,
piece of fentanyl. They literally kill a whale.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, like that whale will
For,
be fucked.
Yeah.
An Altoid.
So they said
The heart-
there were
for the
44
heart,
deaths linked to kratom.
28 cases.
people get diarrhea.
But
11 hospitals. That's it.
You can
11
you can-
hospitalizations.
if
Well,
you
the story
log-
gets crazier
you can-
because
if
there
you
were
already
44
have an account,
cases
you
that
can log in
they cited
online.
and said, what,
Yeah.
44 cases of people
Put a link
dying when they
right
took kratom.
down
Well, guess what?
there.
No, reporters decided,
In the
let's look
comment-
into this. Let's dig deeper
in
and
the
see what happened.
comments and
First of all, one of the cases was a
So,
suicide that they counted as a
um,
death that they're attributing to kratom.
That's hilarious.
Another was a
um,
homicide.
That's hilarious.
And then
So
other
now we're
ones
down to
were
42.
there were, and
If
then
you
most
have
of them,
any money,
people had
comment
like
down below how
5
much
or
you
6
have,
different
and
drugs in their system.
just it's really good
And they're
that you're
saying,
doing
that's
it
kratom.
because it's
So,
good for
That's one of the
everyone's
things we
heart,
did with
and
marijuana
then
and car
you
accidents.
jump rope.
They were
So
saying, oh, all these different car
I
accidents.
did
you know,
my jump
marijuana was
rope.
just-
Yeah, they were also drunk. Exactly.
Yeah, people are partying, man.
Right.
They're out of their fucking head and they crash
Thursday.
into trees.
We didn't have
So,
Soul Friday.
how do you feel now that California
spring
has
break.
legalized it? Is it
So-
because you had the medical one before,
Yeah.
and now is it more of a pain in the ass to get
I'll
weed
get
because it's
to
legalized?
the-
No?
It's very easy to get weed in California. It's very easy. It's not as easy as in Colorado.
I'll get
Colorado's
to
got it down. Colorado's got it nailed, and they are booming,
Swimming in
because
money.
of it.
Yeah.
Booming. To the point where they have to give people money
That's
back.
right. That's right. They gave a check to everybody
I'll
in
talk
the
about
state.
the
And they
YouTube.
take. I love how they take a lot of the money
YouTube
and
channels,
they divert some of it to
so the
education,
first one,
some of it to substance treatment. So they're doing the most
it is
responsible thing for
called
it. And like you said,
First
they-
person in it, which
the
is main
tax on it,
person,
everybody's like,
Roman.
okay,
Roman
Yeah.
is his
Yeah.
first
Okay.
name.
Yeah, I
whatever.
mean, it's a
Second
hot
Watch out,
is
vehicle stopped on shoulder
Brittany.
ahead.
tax
Brittany
rate. I
is
think
the
they have a
second one.
39% tax rate on
Next one is
recreational. I think it's like
Noah.
11 on medicinal.
He's
And here's the thing. It's not
older
exorbitantly
brother.
expensive. It's a plant that grows
And
easy.
then
It's not
King,
hard to
which is,
grow. It's not like some very difficult grape that needs a
The
perfect
little
climate.
brother,
and-
there
right?
is
It's not.
also
Marijuana's not hard to grow. So there's not a lot of
Flash,
arguments
their
against it for
little-
responsible
their
adults.
young dog.
And that's the thing is,
And then
are we going to regulate
there
responsible adult
is,
use of substances? 'Cause if we
one other
do,
dog.
we'd be hypocritical if
I
we
forgot
didn't
the name.
eliminate alcohol.
exactly
It's
right.
one of the worst ones.
If you look, if
So
you
then
look at
they're
it
the first one.
objectively,
Comment down
Yeah.
below
you
if
have
you
to
know
say,
who those are.
listen, this
there's
substance,
two
which is
people,
legal and
three
has
people I
been
know
legal for a
that for
very
sure
long
know
time,
who
is
it
actually
is.
more dangerous than many of these ones that are
Matthew
illegal.
Phillips,
And we learned from
Dylan
alcohol
Phillips, and then my
prohibition
sister.
how terrible an idea it is
They
to just
watch
ban the
these people
substance.
all the
Yeah.
Because what
time.
happened during prohibition? The mafia got incredibly powerful because they're the ones selling the alcohol, they're the ones
So-
making the money, and then when you have a
And then the
dispute
next
and your
one,
product is on the
you
black
will
market,
probably
you know how you
get.
solve that
Comment down
dispute?
below
With
if you
fucking
know
guns
it.
in the street.
Yeah.
You know how you solve the dispute if it's legal? You go to
First
court wearing
one.
suits and ties, and you
Yeah.
figure it out like adults.
Well, this is another thing that Trump should have recognized.
know
when
what
he
it is.
Jeff Sessions.
Yeah, it's a perfect example. That guy's a goddamn monster.
He's an
crazy.
idiot. He's the old school mentality of like, I was raised and it's wrong if you put
Yeah.
substances
Watch out, vehicle stopped on shoulder ahead.
in your body.
But he literally said, good people don't use marijuana. Well, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, he's casting a moral judgment on you for that.
I think there's something like 37% of the country is regular marijuana users. So you're saying 37% of the country is bad people?
Yeah, exactly.
dude.
And there's another example, by the way, of 60% of people now want to legalize marijuana across the country.
Yeah.
So this is another issue where if the Democrats decided, let's not be fucking corrupt idiots and let's actually fight for something, do you have any idea how big of a blue tsunami there would be in the next election
Yeah.
if every Democrat came out there and said,
So,
one of the things
next
before is
one.
legalizing marijuana. We're going to fight for that. We're
First
not going to take no for an
person
answer.
is-
And we're going to make a lot of money that can go
Tyler.
to the schools, that can go
I'm
to the
gonna tell you
infrastructure.
that.
that can
Exactly,
go to
and the job
Tyler
creation,
Perry.
and these are arguments that also appeal to the right. If you
The
tell people on the
bearded
right,
guy.
hey, you guys say you love small government. You know what's
Garrett
really big
Hilbert.
government? When they
Purple
knock down your
Hoser.
fucking door and drag you out in handcuffs because you decided to tweak your consciousness slightly.
The-
That's the biggest government imaginable.
Yeah, they kick your door down, shoot your dog because you've got a fucking bowl sitting in your coffee table. There's so many
Cody
examples of that too.
Jones,
If
the tall
Trump
guy.
really wanted to stop
Clint-
all this illegal Mexican
Kobe
cartel,
Cotton.
Legalize
Number
it.
one,
Legalize
and
it.
then
Tax
Corey
it.
Cotton
Regulate
would
it.
number 2.
Done.
you
And
just
thousands of
squash
jobs
the
created.
cartels.
Trying to figure out.
Exactly. There's no reason for them to be here.
Trying to figure out
And
who
that's-
those
this is another
are.
thing that's so
And
fun.
then,
Guys, give me a diet Mountain Dew.
comment down below. Evelyn.
Thank you.
What?
Diet Mountain Dew, Evelyn.
Alright, so I think we'll be good for a while. So we can just do stuff.
They're join me doing what I do, and one of the reasons why I think shows like ours have blown up is because we're willing to say the most obvious things that everybody's thinking, but the system is dragging like fucking 50 years behind what we're talking about.
But you could never do
Yeah,
the show
comment down
you do
below
or this kind of show
if you got
had,
some.
like real serious advertisers and a
100%.
real
Then we'll
serious
send you some
network
merch.
and producers and executives. If you had a bunch of executives that were above you, in, film blank, CNBC or whatever, and their job depended upon you not saying something fucked up that was going to
You
get
can
the
figure it out.
advertisers to
Comment down
crack
below.
down on their program, and
First,
you wouldn't be able to do it. You wouldn't have the
100%.
freedom.
In fact,
first comment, you'll get
Cenk Uygur
something.
was on MSNBC. The reason he ended up leaving MSNBC,
Second, you'll
he
still
was
get something.
too hard on the Democrats. So
Third,
his
you'll
higher
still
ups were
get
like, hey, listen, man, I just heard from our friends in Washington that you need to reel it in a little bit.
Sure.
And he's like, wait, I don't
That's
understand.
kind
So
of
the whole
all we're
idea
gonna
of
do.
MSNBC is
I'm
be
gonna end this
partisan,
video.
be in favor of the Democrats, and support the Democratic establishment.
Are we
The whole
almost
idea
to,
of Fox News is
Tennessee?
Be partisan, support the Republicans, support the establishment.
Alright,
if somebody comes along and they go, you know what?
I'm gonna be
Your whole
doing
fucking
another video
game is
soon.
bullshit. Both the parties are corrupt.
So I'm gonna end this
Nobody's
one.
fighting for the people. You're ignoring the fact that only 14% of
We're
the
going live
American
tomorrow
people even
morning.
support Congress. You're ignoring the fact that 60% of people want to legalize marijuana. If you go and talk about real
I'm also
issues,
gonna go live while we're
that's
in
when
Florida,
they step up
so
and they go, listen,
2
we
days.
can't have you because, you know, hey, you curse too much,
Tomorrow?
this isn't palatable,
So,
and it's always
tomorrow
people
in
above
2 days.
you who feel like they should be able to control your content.
I'm gonna
They
go
don't
live.
understand the reason why the content
So,
is popular in the first place is because you're not
Hope you
fucking being
enjoyed this
controlled.
video. I know we didn't do that much.
They're operating
Remember,
in
thumbs
this
up
archaic
and
format.
subscribe down below.
The other problem is they interrupt their show every 15 minutes with commercials, and it's just